So today I'm here with Justin Kersten, the founder of the Motion Chiropractic and Sports Performance here in Atlanta. Justin takes a very different approach to chiropractic by combining rehabilitation techniques along with it. So you don't just get a quick fix, but you actually rebuild the issue and fix the core problem. Ready to get started, Justin?
Yeah, man, happy to be here.
Awesome. All right, so let's start at the beginning. Why did you get into chiropractic, and what makes your chiropractic techniques different than everybody else?
So what got me into chiropractic was I was having like really bad low back pain my freshman year of high school, like football and then baseball. I couldn't even bend down to field a ground ball. So I actually pulled up the old Yellow Pages book, found a chiropractor in the town over, and went there. A guy was an ex-professional rugby player. We talked about like movement, and he had that approach of, all right, let's get down to the like real issue, the root cause. And ever since then, that's been my focus, is taking what I've learned from sports and athletics and weight training throughout all of high school, college, and to now, and applying those things to make it sound or make the approach individualistic, but also actually addressing the symptoms, or not addressing just the symptoms, but getting down to the cause of the problem. I got tired of seeing it over and over again of, oh, you come in with right shoulder pain and left, right, 1, 2, 3, left, right adjustments. It's like you didn't even look at the problem.
Well, let me ask you this. So the average chiropractor spends 7.5 minutes with their patients. How long do you spend with them?
I spent a minimum of probably 30 to 45 minutes. I started off and I worked in some practices like that. It's about volume. I mean, I never felt like I was actually getting to help anyone. Sure, you're getting short-term results, but the point of the matter was like, I want to actually help these people get better and live the quality of life they want to. So the time is needed to spend. It's not just, rack, stack, and cracking you on the table. It's seeing where's our range of motion, like insufficiencies or movement inadequacies, or where's the pain coming from? Okay, we got to look joint above, joint below. Where are there breaks in kinetic chain and function? Trying to really figure out what is causing this recurring pain and how do we actually improve it so you have those lasting results.
So Justin, could you talk a little bit about the motion method, where you combine chiropractic with rehab?
Yeah, so I mean, I still do adjustments when necessary, right? But the idea was, just by adjusting the structure, are we really making a change? Is it going to hold? Is there going to be an actual change in movement, reduction in pain? That's where I found that doing the physical therapy side of things, physiotherapy, exercises, not only helping like get that structure moving, increasing range of motion, but also strength and durability, right? That's, I feel like if you're just snap cracking things, we're not actually helping it long term heal. We're only doing a third of what needs to be done. Exercises and having a game plan is where those results actually are achievable.
So Justin, almost every golfer on the planet deals with back pain, but you were telling me that back pain isn't always the cause, but actually a lot of the times is the result. Could you get into that a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. So doing like the Titleist Performance Institute, which is selective functional movement assessment, some of the things they focus on is, the common causes of low back pain and where that actually exists in the golf swing. A lot of it comes from just posture, right? That's where a lot of the stuff we see with the posture, they call it an S or C curve, the rounding. But more so, like I talked with you, it's a lot of times it's a lot of hip mobility, right? You can't turn your hips, you can't dissociate the upper and lower trunk. You're rotating as a single unit, and that puts a lot of pressure on your low back, early extension, creating that pinch in the low back. But again, there's much more to it. You have to look at, do we have enough angle dorsiflexion, right? Is allowing our knees to be stable, our hips to be mobile. There's much more in the sequence than you would actually imagine that can cause pain in the low back. And again, it's not where, just because that's where you're feeling the pain, it's not necessarily where the pain is coming from.
So Justin, ever since I've started seeing you, I've noticed one thing that's been incredibly helpful for me. I've been going to chiropractors my entire life, and if I go in and there's a piece of my body that's too tight to adjust, they just move on because they only have 7.5 minutes. You don't do that. Could you explain?
Well, for you, it was all in the hips, my boy. we took you through that full like movement assessment, right? We saw like there was not only a knee issue, but your hips were bricks, right? You generate a lot of power with the ground force in your hip mobility. I mean, you look at the guys on tour, that's all the stuff they're doing is they're combinational movements with hip rotation, getting that ground force explosion. You know, a lot of those linear movements don't work in a golf setting. So getting you to open up your hips, one, has helped your knee stabilize, but you're generating a lot more power and velocity through your core.
It's taking my ball speed from the low 170s to pushing 180 now.
Yeah. I mean, you're driving the ball a lot farther every time we've played.
Yeah.
Now I got to hit it a little further just keep up with you.
So, Justin, every golfer experiences it, but as they get older, they start to lose distance off the tee. Why is that?
Well, naturally, I mean, as we age, there is, muscle loss, right? But the biggest component of it is probably lack of range of motion, lack of strength and stability throughout the swing. I mean, you see guys on the Champions Tour, Gary Player, those guys can still knock the ball around the course. It's just they maintain a physical fitness level for their body, allowing them to continue to do the things that they love. And that's kind of my whole approach to practice, right? I don't know if anyone's ever seen videos of Gary Player playing, but he hits the ball, runs back to his cart. It's got his bands. He does a bunch of exercise stretches in between every shot. And that's why he's, 90 years old and still shooting under par or around par.
So in your opinion, strength training, physical exercise, functional exercise, and mobility training is the way to really curb the inevitability of age.
Yeah, absolutely. And even you've been a patient, right? I'm working with your dad as well. You'll see that a lot of my treatment plans, they're not just straight grab dumbbells or a barbell and get going, right? It's weighted resistance. It's a lot of those hydro bags. I love those. I think that's great because you're not only working on the movement of weight, but it's the stability, right? It's controlling that weight through the movement. A lot of resistance band, time under tension, allowing your body to feel that resistance at all points of the movement and not just 30 to 40% of that time, right? A lot of our joints are simple machines, right? Levers, ball and socket. When you're doing a single dumbbell, right? Let's use a curl, for example. At full extension, you're only getting about this arc, maybe 15 to 20 degrees of resistance. And then, the fulcrum lever comes in. Well, now there's another maybe 15 degrees of actual resistance. And then you're at a resting point. Unless you're squeezing, right? Kind of trying to get that hypertrophy for muscular growth. There's a short range of motion where you're actually getting that time under tension with a band or something like a resistance, a hydro bag or something like that. You have that constant resistance up and down gravity, not only gravity, but the resistance of the band that's working those muscles, tendons, ligaments throughout the range of motion.
So there's been a viral video of Justin Thomas that's been going around the last few years, and it's him using one of those elastic bands, but he's on one leg and he's on a balance ball. So what you're saying is it's not just about the actual compound exercise or the focused muscle, but it's also about strengthening the supporting muscles around it, which is what the stability training does.
Yeah, there's no singular movement, right? Everything is synergistic. Everything works together. It requires a lot of form and function of a group of muscles to complete a specific movement, right? Doing just one, right? I mean, you can swing a bag all day, right? But what about your legs? What about your feet? What about the stability, being able to swing? How many times have you seen those videos of people swinging, doing a full 360 and falling, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying I haven't done it, but it's those type of things where you're creating force, a specific, concise athletic movement while maintaining posture and balance and strength. It's a lot more than just a single thing, right? Rehab functional chiropractic, it's the way of now, it's the way of the future, treating the actual cause of the problem, not just symptoms. Now watch us drive.